Hello and welcome to episode 384 of the video show. Today I'm joined by image consultant Elaine Evans. So I met Elaine on LinkedIn, she commented on a few of my videos, and after looking at her profile I knew that she would be a really good guest to get onto the show, purely to talk about how people can improve their own image, to give us some tips and give us some advice. So here is that interview. Enjoy.
Hello there, I'm Elaine Evans, an image consultant and also makeup artist, and I've had quite a varied background.
Oh, cool. So I was going to say, what does an image consultant do? But firstly, I want to know about this varied background.
Well, I started at Elizabeth Arden and trained in their factory to be a beautician, and then I ended up working in their Bond Street salon. Hopefully you don't hear that.
That's fine. Who was that?
There's a dog.
I thought it was a dog. Yeah.
He might start barking in a minute. So that, obviously working in such an environment was just, it was great. It was such a great opportunity because I left school with, sort of basic qualifications. And so, it was a real honour to work somewhere like that. I mean, obviously, you have to sign a confidentiality agreement because, in such an environment, you're actually working with rich and famous people. So, so that was a really good start. And then I continued working for myself from home, doing all the beauty work. And then I thought, well, I wanted a change in career. So I went into office work and ended up working at two universities, actually. First of all, dealing with accommodation for students. And then after that, working in a placement office because they restructured. So it was placing students in industry, in engineering, science and technology. So it was fascinating because I used to go around production lines and see all these things, particularly Bexby. That was a highlight. Going around their factory and seeing what what the student was doing there, which was great. And I actually then trained in image, and it sort of followed on very nicely because then I can offer a total package on skincare, makeup, and style.
Yeah, it links up really nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah, and not all image consultants have got that background, and I'm one of the few actually that specialise in helping men too.
This is something I was going to ask as well. So I would sort of think that makeup and that was just women, but I guess in the image consultant thing sort of bleeds into men as well.
It does, and also in some instances, obviously, I can show a man how to get rid of sort of dark circles around his eyes, for instance, particularly when you're making me laugh.
That's my 3-year-old who's kept me awake for the last 3 years.
Oh God. Particularly for videography and for photography. I mean, I do actually work very well with people like yourself because 99% of the hard work is done with helping people feel good about their image by the time they get to people like you. And so by the time you come to do the video, people feel so much more relaxed and happy about themselves.
Yeah, there's been a number of people that come in here or that I've interviewed at various locations that if I point the camera in front of them, the first thing they say to me is, "Oh, can you make me look thinner? Can you make me look like better?" But I think those are the type of people that could do with having like a conversation with you about how to sort of improve how they feel in front of camera. So I was going to we skipped over this a little bit. Let's go back to what does an image consultant do?
Advise on a range of things, really. Sort of colour, style. Style includes, body lines, your shape, and how, your face shape, how to sort of apply makeup for your face, even wearing glasses. getting the right shape and colour for your face, it does make a difference. Not only to how you feel, but because if you feel good, it will put a spring in your step.
Are there any like little tips or anything that you could give to people that can help them start thinking about how they can improve their image? Like, what kind of things should they consider?
Well, certainly if you've got a bit of a tummy, the best thing is not to have your clothes tucked in, and don't have your clothes too tight. So if you've got you say trousers and a shirt, wear the shirt over, so it sort of disguises and make you look taller and thinner. Also, the other key is wearing something that's the same colour. The minute you split colours, the eye then goes to the different shades of colour that you're wearing.
Should you have a palette of colours that you always stick to? Because I find that I stick to certain colours. Like, I'll buy a hoodie in a colour, a jumper in the same colour, and I'll have like t-shirts that are all black. Even like this would go back to even at school. I would wear the same colour shirt every single day, like in sixth form, where you could like pick what you wanted to wear. But like people would say, "Oh, you're like a cartoon character because you wear the same thing every day." And I just thought, well, I like it. Makes me feel comfortable wearing the same colour every day.
Yeah. So do you think it's because it's easy as well?
Yeah, and like I felt like confident wearing that particular thing. And like it's changed like obviously since I was at school. That was like 15 years ago now. But I will still wear the same sort of thing every day. It'll be the same sort of colours, or it'll be a jumper that's the same style. So if I buy a jumper, it'll be like the same jumper but 3 different colours, but all the colours are colours that I would wear regularly. So would you advise on people to have to know what the best colour to like suit their skin is? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole range of colours actually, because people come out with a wallet of colours. So colours that you wouldn't even dream that suits you. So for instance, you might be able to wear purple, but you've never ever thought of wearing purple.
How would you advise, like, what colour should I be thinking about?
You should be thinking about more cooler colours, and I'll show you it might be easier just to find it in the book first to show you. I don't know your eye colour though, because obviously it's very difficult to see on camera.
Shall I zoom
in? Yeah, so
yeah.
You're cool. Right, so actually, you're becoming Richard Gere.
There he is.
But these are the sort of colours you could wear. Can you see it?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay, so some of those will suit you and look great on you, but others may not suit you. So, I have to get you in front of a mirror and do these tests with it. They're called drapes, and they're like sort of big scarves and put round your neck, and then you can see what the colour does to you, because it is absolutely amazing what it does.
Yeah, no, I've never thought about those colours. I always wear like this, like yellow and blacks and stuff. But yeah, never thought about greys or like the lighter tones.
So, when clients come to me, this is the sort of thing. They end up with a wallet of colours.
For men especially, it probably works for women as well, but like, is it worth finding a haircut that suits them? And like, how often should they look at changing that? Because I know like styles change and stuff like that. And I would dread to think of like what my haircut looked like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If I look back at it, I'd probably cringe at old school photos and stuff like that. So how often should sort of people think about that in terms of like how their hair looks?
Yeah, I mean, certainly every 10 years, and not just that, your skin colour changes over time as well. Your hair colour changes over time. And particularly ladies. I think it's quite distinguished looking when you've got a bit of... Yeah, it does. And, and when ladies go to change their hair colour, that also has an impact on it. So, it's good to have it sort of refreshed every 10 years, at least.
That's interesting. Yeah. I know some people that change their hair colour. Yes, family member of mine changed their hair colour probably 3 or 4 times a year. So yeah, and I've never like changed my hair color at all, and I've probably had the same haircut at the same barbers for 12, 13 years now. So yeah, maybe try something that's a bit more
Well, this is it.
up to
You
date.
you tend to sort of stick with the same things because people actually don't like change.
Hmm.
And so when you suggest change, they feel they lack confidence then. It's about convincing people. And that's what I try to do is to make them stand back and look at themselves from somebody else's perspective, because we all see ourselves differently. For instance, if you're looking in a mirror, you can get too close to that mirror. And I say to people, well, nobody is going to look at you at that distance. Everybody's going to be 2 paces back. So that's where you've got to look at yourself, because people do get worried about their skin and how, the everlasting sort of young appearance. People don't look in that, they don't get a magnifying glass out and look at your skin.
I find that people, I say this a lot to people, that people are so, well, yeah, I think that everyone that I work with on camera has like one thing that they look at themselves and they don't really like. But I also think that people watching don't pay attention to that at all. And that they're so sort of busy sort of worrying about themselves that they wouldn't notice that person's like own what they think is a defect, or like they don't like something about themselves. So they might not notice that. Have you found that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's trying to make them see, because I work with people with poor self-confidence too. So it's about making them feel differently about themselves, essentially, and I do actually get a different person walk out after a consultation than the person that walked in. Generally, they feel more enthused about themselves. And, if they want to make a change, they feel as though they're equipped to do it.
So what kind of things do they say when they come in, and then what kind of things do they say after they've worked with you for a bit? What's the difference?
Well, I've put this on today, but I didn't really know. That's when they come in. Yeah. And then when they go out, they'll just say, oh, that was so enlightening. I didn't know all that suited me.
Yeah, like you said with the colour thing, like they may have never thought, oh, purple suits them. Never thought to try it, but then you've got an eye for it and you know how it's worked, or maybe on other people that are similar, so you can suggest stuff. And you've got like years and years of experience of doing that. So yeah, that's really, that's something to think about. So if people were coming to you, what would you say to sort of to think about to prepare to get to before they started working with you?
I obviously would need to find out about their hair, skin and eye colouring, whether they want information about style or whether it's colour, whether it's makeup, because obviously with my experience, I can turn a makeup after into a makeup lesson. So I can do half the face and they can do half the face. Or I can show a man how to disguise those circles. Or, if there is a gentleman that I worked with, he had skin cancer, and that area there was a skin graft, and it was just white. And he said, I really would like you to show me how to conceal it. And so I showed him how to do that. And he said, well, I wish I'd met you 8 years ago, because I've been walking around feeling very self-conscious about it since. So even just, those sort of things can make such a difference to somebody.
Yeah, and then like those are the things that probably no one else has noticed. But like if it makes you feel better about it, like in your everyday life, and then maybe if you're stepping in front of camera as well, that really does help in terms of confidence. Dog.
That you'll obviously have to.
I've never had a dog bark on the show before. That's really cool.
It's a Labrador.
Oh, nice. What's your Labrador's name?
Rufus.
Rufus. That's a good name for a dog.
Yeah, because he's quite sort of butch, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine what a Rufus looks like. Yeah, nice. Um, yeah, so I just think that,
Obviously weddings. I help with
yeah,
weddings, so I can advise on um, lots of a range of different things. Actually, the bridesmaids to the mothers of the bride and the groom, to the bride too and the groom, so I can help with that. And also attend a wedding, and or a photo shoot. So if a makeup needs to be adjusted before the photographer or videographer gets going, I can make those adjustments, to make that person, look really great.
nice.
Hmm.
So for people that have watched this and they want to find out more, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Well, there is a website which is elaineevans.net, and the phone number is 07921 649949.
Cool, great. I'll put them as little titles on the bottom there for the
Thanks.
for the video. But Elaine, thank you so much for coming onto the show. I know I've moved this a number of times, and thank you for being so flexible with it. But finally, we got it, and got your dog got your dog Rufus on the show as well. Hopefully, I might edit that out.
Thanks very much.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.